Okay, so if you are online and you are on a phone, if you're on the phone joining us today, please email me and tell me who you are so I can connect your phone number with who you are so that whenever we use this data for attendance purposes, I will know that you were on with us. So today we are going to talk a little bit about opening school experience, what that means, what you'll be doing over the next couple of weeks to month, what this has to do with student teaching. Before we get started, though, talking about actual opening school experience, I would like for us to introduce ourselves. I would like for you, if you can, to please turn your camera on and your mic on for just a moment. If you can't turn your camera on, at least turn your mic on and tell us who you are, what school system you work in. If you are going to be working this year as the teacher of record or intern, sometimes they'll call you an intern, sometimes they'll call you teacher of record, but basically if you will have your own classroom, or if you will be working as a pair with another teacher or more than one teacher. And also tell us your grade level and subject that you will be working with. Let's start with Rebecca Barnes.
Hi, I'm Becca Barnes. I'm going to be at Furlough Charter School as a paraprofessional, and I am going to be floating around next year.
And what grade levels will you be floating with? Do you know yet, Rebecca?
They haven't told me specifically, but I know it's K through 5.
Okay. Thank you. What about well, actually, I'm just going to open it up. You all just go whenever you get a chance. If you haven't been yet, just unmute and jump in.
Hey, I'm Laura Weintraub. I work in the Cobb County School District. I'm going to be a teacher again. This is my third year as a teacher, and I teach special needs preschool.
Hey, I'm Malin Poole, and I am at Sly County Elementary. I was there last year too. Last year I was a special education para in a self-contained classroom. Next year I will be a para in a kindergarten classroom.
Hi, my name is Jada Harp. I'll be at Sumter County Primary School. I'll be the teacher of records with kindergarten.
Hello, this is Samantha Williams. I am a para in a kindergarten classroom at Denton Elementary in Muskogee County. Last year I was in a general education classroom, and this year I'll be in an LRE room.
My name is
Hey.
Barbara Reed. Sorry.
Go ahead.
And I'm at Adairsville, and I'm going to be in the autism room, and I'm at a para for that class this year. This is my second year with the class.
My name is Lexi. I was in Warner Robins last year at Lake George Primary doing transitional kindergarten. This year I will be back home in Blakely County at Blakely County Primary School doing para in a gen ed kindergarten classroom.
Hi, I'm Patricia Brooks. This year I'll be in Harris County at Park Elementary School, and I'll be a para in a 4th grade general education classroom.
Hey, my name is Kaylee Holland. I'm in Lee County School System. I've been a special ed para for the past 5 years, but this year I will be at Lee County Pre-K doing general education as a para.
Hey, my name's Trinity. I've been a para for the last 3 years, and this will be my first year being a teacher of record at Sumter County Primary School in kindergarten.
Hey, I'm Jennifer Adkins. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Greg.
Okay, I'm Jennifer Adkins. I will be a floating para at Furlough Charter School in grades K through 3rd, and that's it.
I'm Adrienne. I'll be working in the Tift County School District at J.T. Reddick Elementary School at Tifton, Georgia, in pre-K, or kindergarten, sorry.
My name is Allie Mathis, and I'm going to be a para in Putnam County, and I'm going to be working in kindergarten.
Hey, this is Haley Powell. I will be in my 3rd year at Clarksville Elementary in Habersham County. I will be a supportive instruction para with 2nd and 3rd graders.
Hi, my name is Taylor Benzel. I work at Armour Elementary School in Cherokee County. I'm going to be a pre-K para this year.
Is that everyone? I think that may have been everyone. Did anyone not get a chance to introduce themselves? Oh, okay, go ahead. Can you unmute? If not, just type it in the chat box and I'll say it out loud for you. All right, so while she's typing that, we'll come right back and I will say that out loud for her since her mic's not working right now. I do want to mention, I know this year is going to be different for all of you. We have a couple of you that are in our special ed program, and we have a lot of you that are on the call that are in our elementary program. So it will be different. For those of you that are in our elementary online program, I do want to mention your student teaching semester. Some of you will be student teaching this fall. There's not as many of you student teaching this fall, but most of you will be student teaching in the spring. This fall, you'll just be in some of your final courses, and then you'll actually do your student teaching semester in the spring. During that student teaching semester, you are required to be in a pre-K through 5th general education classroom. It cannot be a special ed classroom. It has to be a general ed elementary classroom, pre-K through 5th. And we asked that it be one classroom. So I heard a few of you say that you were floating, things like that. I know some of you have already talked to your administrators about moving into just one classroom in the spring for your student teaching. If for some reason your administration wants you to continue floating during your student teaching semester, you will need to reach out to me, let me know. I will have to talk to Dr. Abbott, your advisor, and we'll have to talk through that, figure out what to do, because we typically have student teachers in one, like they're working with one classroom of students. So if you're if you're working with more than one classroom during your student teaching semester, if your administration has you floating or working with more than one classroom, please let me know before January, before you get started, because we will need to talk with Dr. Abbott and come up with a plan on how we need to proceed. I'm not saying that it would not work, but we would need to come up with a plan. There may have to be different, we may have to take a different route or something. But please let me know before January if that be the case.
So I got a question.
Okay, go ahead.
My job title is kindergarten parapro in gen ed. But a job requirement of mine is for an hour every single day. I will have to be in a 1st grade classroom to help supervise. Do I need to tell them I can't do my job requirements January through May?
So Lexi, if you'll email that to me, let me ask Dr. Abbott about it, because I don't want to make any decisions about those kinds of situations without Dr. Abbott's approval. So if you'll email me that and tell me exactly what you just said in my email, I'll be able to forward it to Dr. Abbott and just ask her if we do need to get with your administration about asking them to not send you over there for an hour. We may have to do that. But it may be okay. I mean, we have pre-K special ed teachers. Their kids take a nap for an hour or an hour and a half. So we understand there's different, responsibilities and people are in different places. So I just want to touch base with Dr. Abbott if it's an individual situation specific to you, and I want to get her approval before I say yes, no, maybe. Okay.
Okay.
And if anybody has any other questions like that, if you have any, specific conditions or requirements that they ask you to do, just please reach out and ask. I'd rather you ask ahead of time, and let's figure it out to make sure that everything's good to go for your student teaching. I definitely don't want you to start student teaching and then have to stop because something is going on or there's some kind of issue.
Is it
So
an issue
just
that they have nap time?
No,
Okay,
it's
because
not.
mine
'Cause
also
usually,
have that.
yeah, usually usually you just do planning. Most of the teachers will
Yes.
just do their planning during the nap time. So yeah,
See, my old school didn't do that. I was always with the kids, didn't have a nap. So this is something new for me. So I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, we typically just consider that nap time planning time, but sometimes they do pull paras out during nap time to go do different duties, and that takes away a planning time. So a student teacher really needs their planning time. So if they are pulling you away, for different things, you're not getting adequate planning time for student teaching, and you're not able to do your student teaching assignments when you should be, things like that. So it may be where we would have to talk to administration. There's just so many different.
Because I'll also have a planning time when they go to like PE and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that
If you
I
just-
will do planning with the teacher.
So your 1 hour that you're saying would be not be during your planning time. It's just required for your para duties. If you'll just, like I said, just email that to me and I'll touch base with Dr. Abbott about that.
All right.
All right. So Miss Chapman, she no, we couldn't hear you. It's probably just something going on with the mic, but she's in the Beaufort City School District. She's been a special ed para for 5 years, and she'll be student teaching this fall in self-contained with 5th grade. All right, thank you. So we're going to move on, and we're going to start talking.
I had a question real quick.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
This is Samantha Williams. I just got moved. I just found out I'm going to be in kindergarten LRE, which if we have kids that are coming in that we already have diagnosis for, they go in there, but they don't, they're pulled out and they're worked with a co-teacher. So will that affect me, or?
Is that where they plan to have you all year? You're student teaching in the spring, right? I will, if you'll just email me your basic responsibilities in that classroom and what all that means, what LRE, I know what it means, but if you'll tell me what your responsibilities are in that setting, let me talk to Dr. Abbott as well about that before we get into the year good, because we may need to, you may need to talk to admin, or we can reach out to admin, but let me touch base with Dr. Abbott about that too. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all, please just email me because I will forget. I did just put a star by your name, but I'll forget. Okay. So let me stop. Any other questions real quick before we move on? All right. And y'all, please feel free to call me or email me, and we will. I'm part-time in July, so I don't check email every single day, but usually about every other day I'll check my email, and I do come into the office some during July. So if you need me in the next couple of weeks before August, please just email or call. If I don't answer, leave a message. I will get your message on my email. So opening school experience is a requirement. It's a component of your student teaching practicum. So your student teaching semester is going to consist of one full semester plus the opening school experience component. It's a requirement for all GSW student teachers, online or in person. And you will not actually receive, you can turn your cameras and or mics off if you need to. I may end up turning my camera off in a minute. Sometimes my Microsoft Teams will work better if I have camera off. So anyway, so you will not receive a grade for opening school experience of A, B, C, D, or F. You will receive an S or a U for that fall 24 semester. So S means satisfactory, U unsatisfactory. So you have to satisfactorily complete the opening school experience course. At midterm, you will be given a grade of S or U. all of your things that you're doing for opening school experience will actually be done before midterm. So technically at midterm, you should be able to have an S already that you've completed it all. If for some reason something crazy happens and you're late getting it in and you don't have it done by midterm, you have a U at midterm for some reason, then you still have until December to get it done. But that would be some kind of extenuating circumstance, like you've had surgery or you've been out of work or something like that. So most everybody will have everything done even before midterm. We'll be able to put that S in at midterm, and then you also get the S at the end of the semester when grades are due. You'll see that S show up for your opening school experience course in the fall. If for some reason you do not see an S at midterm and or the end of the semester, please let me know, because you do have to have that S in that course to be able to receive a grade for student teaching courses and to be able to graduate. It is part of your degree works, your transcript, all that good stuff online. All right, the purpose of opening school experience is a little different for you all than it is for some of our traditional teachers here, as traditional student teachers. Some of these students here have not been in a classroom as much as you all have. They typically go into the schools just for a few weeks each semester for field experience. But I know most of you have at least been working in a school for a year. A lot of you have been working in a school for more than a year. So you kind of already know what it's like at the very beginning of the year. I know paras are required to be at pre-planning as well, not just the teachers. So you all, as paras, working as paras or working as teacher of record, you will have to be there for pre-planning. If for some reason your school system tells you as a para that you do not have to be there for pre-planning, you tell them, this year I do have to be there for pre-planning for GSW because this pre-planning is a part of this opening school experience. We want to provide you with ways to see procedures, rules, organizational tips for a successful school year, whether that be on your own in your own classroom, or whether it be with your mentor in the classroom that you're working with, if you're a para. And then we want you to be able to experience all the meetings that the teachers have. Now, this might be a little bit tricky for you all, and this is going to be where you will need to talk to your administrators. And I will be sending out, and I'll be talking about it in just a few minutes, there's a form that I'll be sending you that you will need to get with your administrator and talk to them about these things. For opening school experience, we would like for you to participate in the same kinds of meetings that your lead teacher or mentor teacher participates in. So those of you that are teacher of record and you have your own classrooms, you obviously are going to have to go to those professional development meetings, all of those things that you do during pre-planning. You're obviously going to have to go to those with all the other teachers. However, if you're a para, your schedule during pre-planning may look different than your lead teacher or your mentor teacher. They may have different meetings for paras. They may not require paras to go to some of the same meetings that the teachers go to. However, since this is your student teaching school year, you may not be the fall semester, but even if you're spring semester, you're still student teaching in this school year. So because this is your school year of student teaching, we ask that you go to all of those same pre-planning meetings and faculty meetings even with your lead teacher or your mentor teacher. So when you sit down to talk to your administrator about the requirements for this student teaching year, please ask them during pre-planning, when my teacher goes to X, Y, and Z, will you please allow me to go with them for GSW purposes for my student teaching? And so this is, we say 10 days. This is mostly for our traditional student teachers to know that this is 10-day experience, because they'll go for 10 days and then they'll come back to class. But you all are in the school every day anyway. So this experience does require 10 days. However, after that 10th day, you're not going to leave your school. You're still going to be in your school. So what the 10 days for you all means is that you will have to log your time for 10 days to prove that you have done this experience. This includes open house or meet and greet. I know typically paras are asked to be at open house anyway. We know the teachers are, but usually paras are asked to be there. But if you're not for some reason, if open house is not a requirement for you, it needs to be this year. You do need to attend that open house with your lead teacher or your mentor teacher this year. This is a part of the opening school experience. When you log your time in SLL, and I will show you how to do that in just a little while, we do need for you to make a note on which day your open house was. So let's say your open house is July 31st. On the July 31st time log, you will put eight hours or 10 hours. A lot of times meet and greet or open houses in the evening, so you may work an 11-hour day that day instead of an 8-hour day. So if you put 11 hours in that comment section, you'll need to put that this was open house day or meet and greet day, whatever you call it, because we do need proof that you attended that open house this year. Y'all, if you have any questions at any time, just stop me. I don't mind stopping and answering questions, or you can type your question in the chat box. I have the chat box pulled up, so I'll see it come through.
You
Okay, so
said you would give us a like a paper saying that we need to be in those meetings with our teachers.
So I will not actually, the paper doesn't actually say that you have to be in the meeting. I will provide you with this PowerPoint that you can take and show your administrator if you'd like to, but what the form is just an agreement form that the principal will work with you to complete all your requirements. And since this is a requirement, if your principal signs this form that they're going to work with you, then that means that basically any requirement they would let you. I don't think it'll be a problem. We haven't ever had any principals say, no, they can't do that, or no, they can't do that. Because, I mean, let's face it, obviously the principals want you all to be successful and they want to hopefully hire you all one day. So they typically do not have a problem with you going and doing things if it's different than what you would usually be doing. So if there is a problem, I'll be happy to talk to your administrator and or your mentor. But I do have that form. I'll show you all that form in a little bit, and I'll send that form to you so that you can take that form, have your principal sign it. And I will, like I said, I'll send you this PowerPoint so you can have that if your principal needs some kind of documentation. Like I said, I don't mind emailing the principal and saying you need to be you need to be at X, Y, and Z. If it comes down to that and you need me to do that, I don't mind doing that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the 10 days will start on day 1 of pre-planning. So day 1, let's say your school starts back, I don't know, all of you are going to be different, but let's say your school starts back next Wednesday, July 24th. So that's going to be day 1. July 25th would be day 2. July 26th would be day 3, and you would keep going like that until you were 10 days in. Most school systems have about 5 days of pre-planning, and then we're considering the first 5 days of school. If you have 6 days of pre-planning, then it would be the 6 pre-planning days plus the first 4 days of school. So when you log your time in SLL, you're going to want to log day 1 of pre-planning, day 2 pre-planning, day 3 pre-planning, day 4 pre-planning, things like that. Then when you get to first day of school, you'll want to log first day of school, second day of school, third day of school, fourth day of school, so on.
Jada asked a really good question. I think it's because me and her are attending the same thing. But we have our first day of school, or our first day of pre-planning is the 29th of July. We'll have pre-planning till the 1st, and our first day of school is the 2nd. But on the 24th and 25th, we both have something to attend for our job. So do I count the 24th and the 25th, or do I start it on the 29th?
Yeah, if you are a new teacher, and I just saw Jada's, if you're a new teacher and you have to attend new teacher orientation on certain days, you can count those as day 1. In your comment section in SLL, just write day 1, new teacher orientation, day 2, new teacher orientation, and then your day 3 would be pre-planning.
Okay.
So just write it like that, just so that we can keep up in your time log with kind of what you're doing, whether if it is no teacher orientation, if it is pre-planning, or if it is the first, second, third, fourth day of school, those kinds of things.
Okay.
And then I saw where you said the PowerPoint would be perfect to send them. Like I said, I don't mind contacting the administrators or sending it to them. I'm not going to just send it to them to just send it to everybody. But if you need me to, like I said, I do not mind. But I will be sending this PowerPoint to all of you, so you will get it.
Yeah. I
if
was
you
gonna
need
share it with
give
them.
to. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So, all right. So I think okay. So the 10 full days, we just need to make sure you have recorded in SLL the 10 full days, whether it be new teacher orientation, pre-planning, or the first few days of school. Actually, while we're on this, I'm going to go ahead and pull SLL over to my screen. Can y'all see SLL now on the screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
when you pull up SLL, you will have a 24-25 opening school experience online pathway and Cert only. So like I said, most of you on this call are in our elementary online pathway. I think there's 2 of you that are in our special ed Cert only group. You all are doing these same assignments during this time, so I just grouped y'all together. You will click on this group that says 24-25 OSE online pathway and Cert only. You will see here your different assignments, and we're going to be talking about those in just a minute. But right now I want to go to the log. So you're going to go in your log, create a new log entry. And I think you said the 24th maybe. We're going to create that log entry. And category, there's really only one option, observation, and I think you have to choose that for it to let you go forward. So it's fine to just choose observation. Obviously, you're going to be doing more than just observing, but just choose that because that's the only one it'll let you choose. Hours, let's say you have a 7-hour day, 0 minutes, 7 hours, 0 minutes, and in the description you're going to put new teacher orientation. Apply and submit. Well, actually, you can create another one here. Hold on. Why it's not letting me submit there. Oh, I do know why. It's because it can't be at a future date. I'm trying to submit for next week. So let's pretend that it's today and not next week. So I've put it in, I click submit, and then it'll show up that I did observation 7 hours, and you can't see where it's the description, but I can see it on my side. So if you typed in new teacher orientation, I'll be able to see that on my side. If for some reason you enter something wrong, you can delete it or edit the entry. And here, once you've logged this entry, you can go in and do the next day. So you'll just continue until you've got 10 entries. Any questions about that time log in SLL? I know some of this will be new for some of you. Some of you have never used the time log function before. But we do for your field opening school experience and for your student teaching, you will have to keep your time logs up because we do have to use those for data purposes and for reporting to the PSC your time that you have done opening school experience and student teaching.
I had another question. I had to call in because my Teams wasn't working, and so I can't see anything. How do we access SOL?
Okay, so have you had to submit anything in SLL for any of your courses at this point in the student learning and licensure? Okay, so let me just kind of see who else. There's a little raise hand button on here. If you're on here and you can choose raise hand. If you have never had to do anything in SLL yet, please raise your hand on the little screen.
So I just recently, the last semester, the summer semester, had to submit something on SLL, and I was very confused about it too, and it took a lot of reaching out to the teacher. I was able to purchase it through the library, but they make you purchase the code to sign up for the account.
Right.
So
Yes.
I had purchased it and didn't know and threw the piece of paper away and had to reach out. So I don't know if that might be the case for some people.
Okay.
So I reached out. They could see I didn't sign up for my account, and they gave me the code again, but told me if I popped up twice, I'd have to pay twice for the code.
Gotcha. I do know that there is a way to purchase it through the library here, and they do give you the code, or you can go online and purchase it just straight through the SLL, the website. If you, I didn't see any raise their hand. So if you do not have an SLL account set up, or you do not know if you have an SLL account set up, please reach out to me and I can send you the instructions to get that account. It's a one-time purchase, so it's like $130 or 108. I think it's 130 if you go through online. I think it's 180 if you go through the bookstore, or library, because you can use financial aid with it if you go through the bookstore. So it is a little bit more expensive. But it's that one-time fee, and you use it for the rest of your course. You use it for all your courses. You don't have to purchase it for individual ones. So you would use it now and then use it again for student teaching. And then if you do a master's program here, then it would be good for the master's program. I think it's good for 5 to 7 years. I'm not positive it's 5 or 7, but you purchased it that one time and it's good for 5 to 7 years. So if for some reason if you're not able to log in to SLL, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please email me and I will send you instructions on how to get that set up. Okay.
I have a question. So back to what I was saying, I have something on the 24th, but it's
Okay.
only from 9 to 11. So do you want me to do like an extra day of school, do like 11 entries? That way it's 10 full days?
Actually, Lexi, if you want to since your new teacher orientation may not be a full day, you may just not even want to log that. You may want to wait until just day one of pre-planning, because those are going to be full days, and
Yeah.
just log those 10 full days. I mean, obviously,
Um,
you're going to be there. We need proof of 10 full
full
days of
days.
opening
Okay.
school. So you may
So,
want to just not worry about, you may not want to, you can log them and then add extra as long as you have 10 full days. And when I say full days, that's like 7 to 8 hours,
so I'll
depending.
probably log them, but then do 10
Couple
full days
extra.
after that.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that too, just so we kind of see that where you've been and the days you've been there. But we do just have to be able to prove 10 full days. So make sure
Okay.
when I say a full day, it's 7 to 8 hours.
Yeah, because on the 24th, it's going to be 2 hours, and then the 25th, not even 7. So those are the
Okay.
two new hire and like the reading testing stuff. So I'll
Right.
probably put them in, but then I'll do 10 full days after that.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. You can do that, and it's fine. Like if you have it, it'll let you do extra entries. You can have them in there. So just make sure you've got 10 full days in there. All right, so when you log into SLL, this in progress tab comes up. And so it usually, right now, mine's only showing this. I actually have myself in here as a student, just so you can see it from a student perspective, because if I logged into my account, it would show a faculty perspective. So I do have it logged in as a student right now. Your student account will probably show the opening school experience group, but it'll also show the courses that you're in. So if you have, let's say you're taking 5 courses this fall, it may already show those 5 courses. I don't know if it shows them already or if it will in a few weeks, but your courses also show up. If you're in student teaching this fall, your student teaching courses will show up. So this is not going to be the only thing you see in your account. When you log in and you see all the different things, you're going to have to search for this one. Make sure you scroll down if you don't see it at the top. But somewhere when you log in your in progress tab, you'll see the 24-25 opening school experience. Okay, I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. Y'all please just continue to shout at me if you have any questions. I think the 10 full days we've got covered. All right, so what should I do to prepare? Just make sure, if you don't know, and I feel like all of you do know, that you contact your mentor or the school to ensure arrival on the first day of pre-planning. So, for example, some schools may start pre-planning. You may have a big breakfast or a big assembly at your middle school auditorium if you're in a big county. So just make sure you know where to go on the first day. I feel like most of you already probably know because you're in the school system and you get the school emails. But if for some reason you do not know where to go on that first day, contact your school or your mentor or lead teacher and ask them where you're going to be going on that first day. And if there are any countywide meetings, so if there's a big assembly or a big countywide meeting somewhere, find out where that is and make sure you're there and on time. To prepare all of these things that I'm going to be talking about today, they will be available on that resource page that we have. It's tinyurl.com/GSW live text. When you go on that page, you can click on the tab that says Opening School Experience, and you'll be able to download a copy of everything that I'm talking about today. I will be sending you an email, though, also with all of these things that I'm talking about today. So you don't necessarily have to go to the resource page to download it. I will send it to you by email. But if for some reason you delete the email and you can't find it, you can get it again on the resource page. Also, please don't hesitate to email me. If you lose anything, I'll be glad to send it to you again. I am constantly updating that resource page. So right now, the only thing you'll see that you probably can use is going to be that opening school experience stuff because I'm still updating student teaching things and I haven't gotten it all in there yet. So right now, if you go to the resource page, the opening school experience stuff is what you will see. Now, it's not on there yet. I'll put it on there probably tomorrow. And then you'll be able to see it after then. All right, so the requirements for opening school, you have to be registered for that course for fall semester. This afternoon, when you get off the call, I need you all to please check your schedules. Make sure you have the opening school experience course on your fall schedule. For the ones of you that are in the elementary program, yours should say elementary opening school experience. For those of you that are in the Cert only, I think yours will say P12 or SPED P12, something like that, opening school experience. Make sure that you are registered for that opening school experience course. It's a 0-hour credit course. So you're not getting any hours for that course, but you do have to have it on your schedule so that a S or a U can be assigned for the grade at the end. You also are required to have a pre-service certificate, and you all do have a pre-service certificate. I went back and checked. All of your pre-service certificates are still valid. You are all good to go for that. Now this liability insurance, this is something that we do require all of our student teachers to have. Some of you may already have some type of liability insurance with your, you could have signed up at your school. So if you're not sure, I can find out for you if you have it, if you're not sure if you have it, or your school can find out for you if you have it. We typically use PAGE, which is Professional Association of Georgia Educators. We have a PAGE representative. She's very nice. She'll answer any of our questions. Very easy to contact. Like I said, if you don't know if you already have a PAGE account, she can pull you up for me and tell me if you do or if you do not, or if you have had one in the past. GAE is also another option. You could be a member of GAE. They also provide liability insurance, but we typically, most of our students use PAGE because it is a little bit cheaper, and we just have that good communication with that PAGE representative. But it is up to you whether you want to use PAGE or GAE. So what this means is you will become a member of that association. Being a member provides you with liability insurance. So if anything happened in the classroom and a parent decided to sue you, you would have up to $1 million worth of liability insurance to be able to contact a lawyer to ask any questions, to use a lawyer. You would use a page lawyer, things like that. Now, you may not think you'll ever need this. And a lot of our students here, traditional students that are not in the school systems every day, they really sometimes think that they don't need this. But I've had students that have had some things go on in field experience, have seen things, have heard things, have had some different. Let me give you an example. I had one student that ended up getting a DUI for something. They were scared that their certificate might be in jeopardy. So I advised them to call their page, to call a page lawyer and just tell the page lawyer what was going on and ask the page lawyer if the certificate may be in jeopardy because of that DUI charge. It ended up being dropped. And the page lawyer did say that they were fine, that the certificate was not in jeopardy. But it was a very nice for them to have that. And they just called the page number and they connected them with a lawyer and they asked all those questions and everything was good to go. So at any time, if anything happens in your personal life and you're worried about your teaching certificate, and right now, those of you that are not teacher of record yet, you already have a pre-service certificate. So you already have, a teaching certificate. Even though it's not a professional teaching certificate yet, it is a pre-service teaching certificate. So it still can be revoked. If a pre-service certificate is revoked, you're not likely to be able to get a professional teaching certificate anytime soon anyways. So things can happen even before you get a professional teaching certificate. And I don't say that to scare you. You all have heard this so many times in the schools, I'm sure. But there are parents out there that will do just about anything for a little bit of money. So it is a requirement of ours, of GSW, for you to have some type of liability insurance. Now, there are different levels of those memberships. So if you are a traditional student teacher and you're not employed in a school system, which I don't think that's any of you, I think you are all being paid by a school system. If you're a traditional student teacher, you can just get the $15 college student membership. However, if you're employed by a school system and you're being paid by a school system, you're going to have to purchase the support personnel or the professional membership. If you are a para, you would fall under the support personnel membership. And that $87.50 is for the whole year. You can go on the page website and you can click on support personnel and get that insurance. You can pay it up front, the $87.50 if you want to go ahead and pay it for the whole year, or you can have them take it out of your checks monthly. The schools will usually take it, depending on what school system you're at, they'll usually take it out of your check, or you can put in like a debit or credit card number and they'll just charge you X amount per month. So they'll divide it up into 12 months and they'll charge you per month. Same thing with professional. If you are serving as a teacher of record, you do have to have that professional membership, the $175 a year. They will do it monthly. Like I said, you can do a debit or credit card monthly, or you can have them take it out of your check. You can sign up directly on the page website or GAE website. I'm more familiar with Page because I have a Page account myself, so I'm more familiar with their website. It's pretty easy to use. If you don't know it, I will type it here. It's pageinc.org. That's Page. I'm not positive on the GAE website. You have to Google that one if you'd like to do GAE. Pageinc.org. You can go if you had a Page membership in the past. You just go to renew. And then they can put in your information, your social security number. They can pull you up and then you can renew it for another year. If you had liability insurance as a college student and you paid $15 as a college student for a year, they would give you half off of your first year for support or professional. So let's say you were just a regular student this past year, you paid the $15 and now you're a para, so they'll give you half off of the $87.50. Or let's say you were a college student last year and now you're a teacher of record, they'll give you half, and you have to purchase professional this year, they'll give you half off of that professional for your first year, if after you're a college student. Go to that website, take a look at all of that. Give you a few days to do that. I do need you to get that liability insurance taken care of and get that membership taken care of before pre-planning, or at minimum during pre-planning. I know some of you may need to talk to your school system about the insurance to see if you already have it, or to see if they allow you to do it through them. That's fine. So at least during your pre-planning time, find out about that and get a copy of your membership card. If you do it online on pageinc.org, they will just give you a PDF copy of your membership card, and you can just take a screenshot of it and submit it for me. There is a place in SLL for you to submit that screenshot of your card. You can take a picture of it on the screen, or you can take a screenshot and submit a copy of that card. When you do submit a copy of the card, please make sure that you have the expiration date is visible. It should say valid through, or it should say expires on, something like that. Make sure that is visible so that we know that you are in compliance with that and you have the proper dates for your liability insurance. Jada has her hand raised. She asked a question: which one does teacher of record need? The teacher of record would need the professional. If you are teacher of record and if your school system has you on a waiver as teacher of record, you need the professional membership. If you are serving as a para and you don't have a classroom by yourself, if you're working with a lead teacher, then you would need a support personnel membership. Let me go back to SLL real quick while we're talking about this, and I'll show you where that will go in SLL. So on your in progress tab, when you click on the 24-25 opening school experience, you will see these different assignments. Here at the very bottom, it says liability insurance, submit before pre-planning. I did say before, but I'm telling you now, if you need a couple of days during pre-planning, take a couple of days and figure it out, and then go into the SLL account, select your file, and that's where you'll add the picture, the PDF, or the screenshot, or the picture that you've taken of the membership card. Okay. Any questions about the liability insurance right now before I move on? All right, so let's talk a little bit more about SLL. In SLL, you will submit that liability insurance like we talked about. You will do your time log and enter your 10 full days like we talked about. You'll also submit the assignments that I'm gonna give you in just a few minutes. You're gonna submit those assignments when you're done with those in SLL. There'll also be an evaluation in there. Once you submit your forms to me that has your mentor's name on it, I will put your mentor in SLL. They will have their own account. I will send them information on how to log into their mentor account if they've never had a mentor account before. After the first 10 days, so after you've logged those 10 days and you're done with that 10th day, I need you to talk to your mentor, your lead teacher, or your mentor teacher, whoever they've got down for you to do evaluations. Typically, it's your lead teacher if you're a para. If you're a teacher of record, they usually give you a mentor that's teaching in the same grade level, or an academic coach might be your mentor, but they will assign you a mentor. This mentor will be doing the evaluations for you this year for your opening school experience and your student teaching. So I will put the mentor in SLL. They will be able to see that evaluation. You will need to remind them to go into their account and click on that evaluation and fill that out for you. Now, the evaluation is not going to be evaluating you teaching right now, because you're not going to be doing a whole lot of teaching in those pre-planning or the first few days of school. It's mostly going to be dispositional. So it'll be like your attitude, your initiative, your communication, your professionalism, things like that. So that is what they will be evaluating you on in these first 10 days. After that 10th day and you've logged the 10th day, remind the mentor teacher to go on and do that evaluation for you. Also, please ask the mentor teacher to go in and approve those 10 days. Because just because you put those 10 days in there, we still need them to be approved so that they're valid. So the mentor can go in your time log. They'll be able to see your time log. They don't have to sign into your account. They'll have their own account and you will be attached to them. They'll be able to see your time log that you've entered, and there'll be an accept or a deny or approve or deny button that they can check. So have them approve your 10 days that you have submitted. That's what we end up submitting to the PSC for us to be able to certify that you've done your opening school experience. Kaylee, you have your hand raised.
Just want to clarify that on the thing, they won't do the evaluation until like December, until the end of the semester?
No, so this evaluation they'll do after the 10th day.
The 10th day.
Right.
Just wanted
So
to make sure.
after you've logged your 10 days, your first 10 days, then the mentor can go in and do that evaluation. For this one, for opening school experience, you're going to have more evaluations throughout the fall semester and or the spring semester. If you're student teaching in the fall or the spring, you'll have more evaluations, but just for this, for opening school, they'll do an evaluation after that 10th day. On the 10th day, right after the 10th day, just somewhere around that. Allie? Maybe you put your hand down. Jennifer?
So you're saying that the evaluation at the beginning has to be by the same teacher that we'll be student teaching with in the spring?
Not necessarily. I know, Jennifer, you may be doing a different, your administrators may be moving you to one classroom in the spring. I've talked to them about that. So not necessarily. So when I give you these forms in a little while, you'll see that they're going to have to assign you a mentor for this semester too. So if, let's say they assign you Jane Doe this semester to do your mentoring, and then in the spring they put you with Johnny Brown, then Jane Doe can do this one and Johnny Brown can do the ones in the spring. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to put in what I see on your form that they fill out this semester. We may have to do another form. If you get a different mentor next semester, we'll probably just have to do a different form, and I'll have to put a different person in SLL for you.
Okay.
If they want to go ahead and give you the same one, like if you're floating right now and they want to give you, they know who they're putting you with in the spring, and they want to put that person on there just so they can go ahead and start doing your evaluations, that's fine. But it's not a big deal if it's a different person. We can make the change.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Barbara?
So mine was on the 10 hours, on the where he has to do the mentor and everything like that for the 10 full days, and you have to log in. I looked up our calendar, and we go back for pre-planning on the 24th. So I actually only have 6 days before we start school.
So 6 days of pre-planning?
Yeah, we have 6 days,
Okay.
and then school starts for us August 1st.
So what you'll do in that situation, you'll do day 1, day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of pre-planning, and then you'll do day 1 of school, day 2 of school, day 3 of school, day 4 of school.
Okay.
So you'll have 6 pre-planning days and 4 of the first days of school.
Okay. All right. And then does the hours matter in the day? Like you said, because I know you were talking about some days would be longer.
As long as it's at least 7 to 8 hours. I would consider a full day being 7 to 8 hours. You may be there a lot longer because you may be trying to get your classroom ready.
Right. Okay.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, you may be there longer, and on that open house day, you probably are going to be there longer. But as long as it's like 7 to 8, we would consider that a full day.
Okay, thank you.
Lexi?
I will have a lead teacher because I'm a para, but I've been told I'll also get a mentor separate from her. Would you
Okay.
prefer the lead teacher or the mentor?
Whoever the administration assigns you as a mentor is fine. We do ask that the mentor teachers have at least 3 years of experience. There are a couple of different requirements, and I will send those to you all so that you can give those to your administrator when they are assigning you a mentor. We don't want them to assign you a brand new teacher, obviously, to mentor you. So we do have a list of a few requirements for mentor teachers. I will give that list to you whenever I give you that form. So you can give that list to your administrator and you can say, I need a mentor that's going to fit in all of these categories. Most of the time it's your lead teacher, whoever you're working with, but it doesn't have to be. If you have somebody else that a lot of schools will use their academic coach to be a mentor teacher. Even though the academic coach is not in the classroom with them all the time, they'll come in to do the evaluations for them. So it doesn't have to be the lead teacher, but I will give you the requirement so you can talk, when you do talk to your administrator and have your administrator sign this form, you can talk to them about that as well.
Hi, sorry. My
okay.
team keeps glitching. It kicked me out when you called my name. I wanted to ask how the mentor teacher gets their access to SLL.
So what's going to happen when you submit the form to me and I have your mentor teacher's name and information, I'm going to go in and make them an SLL account, a mentor teacher account. They don't have to pay for a mentor account because the mentor accounts come with what you all pay as students. So they don't have to pay for a mentor account. I can make them a mentor account and I can attach you to their account so they can see your information. Once I make them a mentor account, I will send all of your mentors an email saying that I've made them a mentor account. I'm actually going to have an orientation with them. I'm actually going to give them a time just like I've given you all, and we're going to do this same thing. I'm going to log on with them and I'm going to go through what they'll need to do for you. It may be, it's probably going to be, I'm asking you all to submit the form to me by August 9th. So that's the second Friday in August. I think all of you will probably have already started your school year by August 9th. So you will have had time to sit down with your administrator and mentor and have them sign these forms. Once I have all these forms back and I know who your mentors are, I will send them an email and ask them to log on with me and do an orientation with me. Now that you brought that up, it makes me think of something. Those mentors, when I do the orientation with them, I will explain to them how to get on SLL. So let's say your 10th day is like, I don't know, August 7th. I may not have met with your mentor yet for an orientation. It's probably going to be that week of the 12th or 19th that I do that orientation with them. So they may not get to do that evaluation on you on day 10 if they don't already know about SLL. If they do have an SLL account already and they know about SLL, it's fine for them to go in and do it. But let's not worry if they don't go in on the 10th day or right after the 10th day. Let's wait until I've done an orientation with your mentors to show them how to get into SLL and what that evaluation looks like. So let's say as long as they have that evaluation done by the end of August, y'all will be fine. I know it'll be way after the 10th day, but as long as it's done by the end of August, after I've met with them and done the orientation with them, I can show them how to see your time log. I can show them how to do the evaluations, and then they can go in their mentor account in SLL and do that. I know that the first of school is always crazy, so I don't want to just throw another orientation at them during pre-planning or the first week of school. That's why I want to wait until maybe the week of August. after the night, August 12th or August 19th. I want to wait until one of those weeks to do the orientation with them after y'all have gotten your feet wet a little bit and school is on, on a normal, y'all are on a normal routine. Does that make sense? I'm glad you mentioned that because that made me think of that, that your mentors don't stress them out about going in and doing that evaluation and approving those time logs. You don't have to stress them out about that at the very beginning. Let's just make sure they can get that done by the end of August.
So
That
will
makes
we be able to see our evaluations?
Yes. So once they do it, once they approve your time log, you can see that it's been approved. And once they submit your evaluation, you will be able to see what they have said about you. The scores that they've given you, and if they make any comments, you'll be able to see those. These evaluations that they usually do in the beginning, there may be some that they choose NA on or some that they give you lower scores on just because it's the beginning of the year. So they haven't seen as much of it. If you score lower scores or NAs right now at the beginning of the year, please don't stress. Typically what we hope to see are, you know, higher scores by the end of student teaching. So we hope to see progression. If you're scoring some twos right now, it's okay. We hope to see threes by the end of student teaching. If you score an NA, that means the teacher just hasn't seen you in action enough to score you yet. So if you receive NAs or lower scores, don't freak out. Just go with it and use it to learn from. If there's some areas that they tell you that you're doing good but you could improve just a little bit, use it as a learning tool. And then hopefully by the end of your student teaching semester you will be on par to make those threes and or fours. Some of our evaluations are 1, 2, 3, some evaluation 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you move through the student teaching semester, you'll see the differences in evaluations. But for right now, don't stress too much about this one evaluation because I feel like y'all are going to do fine on it. All of you are going to show that initiative. You're going to show up for work. You're going to show professionalism. You're going to be fine with communication. I feel like y'all are all going to do fine with that evaluation, even right now at the beginning of the year. I think you're going to be fine. Allie, I hope that answered your question. I think I went off track a little bit, but
Oh, no, it did. Thank you very much.
okay, you're welcome. Barbara, did you have another question or did you just still have your hand raised?
No, I'm good.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I think we covered all of that. Just
There
remember,
is a question in the chat that was asked.
Thank you. Does this meeting require teacher interns? Yes. Alexis, this is for paras and intern teacher of records. Are you talking about the meeting for this meeting we're doing right now or the meeting that I'm going to do with your mentors?
Yes, this meeting now.
Oh, this meeting now, yes, is for paras and teacher of record interns.
Okay.
Yeah, did you log on late, Alexis?
I logged on like 30 minutes late and I was lost and all I heard was student teacher and I was like, I'm a teacher intern, so I kind of got confused.
So yeah, even though you're an intern teacher of record, you're still going to have to complete student teaching requirements. It's just just because we call it student teaching courses. So that's why I still say student teaching, just because you have a student teaching semester with those student teaching courses. So that's why it was probably confusing. But since you logged on a little bit late, I'm recording this session. I can send you the recording so you can catch back up on what you missed in the very beginning.
Okay. Also, I have a question. So we also have to turn in the page thing too, because I have a page account already too.
Yes, that is a requirement in SLL, your liability insurance submission. Alexis, do you know if you have the professional membership?
I don't think I do. I think I have a para membership.
Okay, so since you are going to be teacher of record now, you will have to upgrade that to a professional membership. If you had the support personnel, you're going to want to upgrade that to the professional so that'll cover you. If you're in a classroom as teacher of record, that support personnel is not going to cover you anymore. You're going to have the professional membership.
Okay.
Okay. And I can answer any questions that you missed, but I will send this recording to you later so you can catch up on that first part. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, what should I wear for opening school experience? Obviously, y'all are all employed, so you're going to follow your school's dress code policy. You may have a different dress code for pre-planning. You may be able to wear shorts or leggings during pre-planning because you are usually working in your classroom a lot. That's fine. Just follow your school's dress code policy. Typically, open house in the first day of school, the school systems like you to dress professionally unless they give you a specific something to wear. So some schools may say we're all wearing these shirts on the first day of school. If they do, that's fine. We just ask that you do dress professionally. GSW does have a dress code policy that you dress as a professional educator, but you can follow your school's dress code. You all are employed. We do also ask that you wear some type of ID in your building. If your school does not give you an ID, then you can wear your GSW student ID because you are still a student with GSW. Most of your school systems give you IDs and you have badges you can wear on lanyards and things. But if your school doesn't give you an ID, then you will need to wear your a GSW ID. You can't. I can walk you through how to get a GSW ID card. I don't think I've got to worry about this. I think most all of you are going to have an ID with your school system. Okay, the GACE assessment. I know you've probably already heard about GACE. You have to pass 2 parts of the GACE to get your certification. I believe my Cert only students, my 2 students on here that are Cert only, I think y'all have already taken the GACE. So y'all just get a break for just a minute while I talk about the GACE. Everyone in our elementary pathway, y'all will have to take the GACE. You will take elementary GACE, and there's 2 parts. So there's like elementary GACE 1 and elementary 2, something like that. You have to at least attempt both parts of that GACE 2 weeks prior to graduation. And the reason we say 2 weeks is because it takes at least 2 weeks to get your official score report back. We have to have your official score report before you can graduate. So if you are a fall student teacher, you are supposed to graduate in December. You need to take the GACE by the middle of November so that we have time to get your report back by the first part of December when you walk. If you're a spring student teacher, you'll graduate in May. You need to take the GACE by at least middle of April so that we will have time to get your scores back before you walk in May. When I say attempt, it's okay if you do not pass it the first time, pass either part. If you pass one part and not the second part, or if you pass both parts, or if you don't pass both parts, it doesn't matter. As long as you have attempted those 2 tests, then you can graduate if you've passed all your classes, obviously. If you do not attempt both parts, then we will hold your graduation. You will not be able to graduate. If you fail either part or both parts, you can take them later after graduation. Your certification will just be pushed back. So you will still be able to graduate. You'll still get your diploma, but you'll have to retake those tests that you did not pass so that your certification can be put through. After you pass both parts of the GACE and you graduate, then your certification can be put through. You can apply for your teaching certificate, your professional teaching certificate. If you are a fall student teacher, your eligibility to take your GACE test has already opened. So you should be able to go into your MyPSC account and look at the testing dates and testing sites and choose one, and you can take both tests on the same day, or you can split it up and take the test on different days. You should already be able to see those things if you are a fall student teacher. If you are a spring student teacher, your eligibility will open at midterm this coming up semester. So around October at midterm is when we put it in that you are eligible to take the GACE. So that means you could take it October, November, or December, you can go ahead and take it before your actual student teaching semester, or you can wait until January, February, March, April, take it while your student teaching semester, during your student teaching semester. It's up to you, but you have to at least attempt both parts, both tests before graduation. Questions about the GACE? All right, I looked in the chat. Jada, yes, I will actually probably send you all the recording. That way you can, any of you can go back and reference the recording if you need to. All right, so seminar dates. So part of student teaching, obviously you have orientations like today, but we also have some seminars. And for you all, because you're completely online students, all of your seminars and meetings are going to be virtual. They'll all be online. You won't have to come to campus for any of these seminars or meetings. A student teaching calendar will be given to you at your orientation. If you're a fall student teacher, I'm going to have a separate orientation for you for student teaching. Today's orientation is just about opening school experience and the assignments and requirements for that. But I will have another orientation for you for your student teaching semester. I'll send you all the date. The fall student teachers, there's not many of you. There's only a handful of you. I'll send you the date this coming week. It's probably going to be like that second week in August. So I'll let you get all of this opening school experience information processed, and then get some of that opening school stuff done. And then I will meet with you again online, and we'll do a virtual meeting, a virtual orientation for student teaching for the fall student teaching semester. Spring student teachers, I'll have a virtual orientation with you all in January. And then I will tell you all about your student teaching semester from January to May at that orientation. I'll give you all the student teaching calendar, which will include all the dates that you will log on for seminars. We typically do seminars or meetings in the afternoons after school. Because we know you all are in classrooms during the day, and we don't pull you out of classrooms for meetings. If there's any time, it may only be one time that we'd have to do it during the day, but I don't even think we're going to have to do that. Most all of them are going to be in the afternoons. And we usually don't do them on Saturdays, but if anything came up and we had to do one during the day, we could possibly do it on a Saturday so that you were not in school. But just know that they'll all be virtual, they'll all be online, so you won't have to drive here to GSW. And we usually don't have that many. When I say seminars, I'm talking maybe 5, 6, 7 different times that you'll log on during the semester for seminars or meetings. I do know for a fact that all of you, the fall student teachers and the spring student teachers, will need to write these two dates down now. I already know these dates. September 23rd from 4 to 5:30. It may not take a whole hour and a half. It may only take like an hour, but we're going to do a resume interviewing session. That is going to lead into our mock interview session on Wednesday, November 6th. So those two dates, go ahead and make note of them. September 23rd and November 6th. It'll be after school on both of those days. In the afternoons, we're going to have like a meeting about resume interviewing, and that is going to lead into the mock interviews. Now, mock interviews, what will happen? We will have community volunteers log in, and they will pretend like they are giving you an interview. The mock interview process is a requirement for student teaching. So we know you all have been through interviews before. We know you've been through an interview for either a para position or a teacher of record position. However, for us to be able to certify you and for the PSC, we have to prove that we've put you through a mock interview. So that is something that is required. I will set up a schedule. I'll tell you what time you need to be logged on that Wednesday afternoon, and you'll log on. It will not be me. It'll be people in our community or volunteers from GSW will log in and do a mock interview. So it'll be like that they are asking you interview questions, and you would pretend like you're going through a real interview with them, and then they will give you feedback on that interview. We typically have really good reviews about that. Our volunteers always tell us that we have awesome teacher candidates and y'all are all great. And our student teachers always enjoy being able to do that and get some feedback from community members or from GSW volunteers. So right now, those are the 2 dates that I know for sure. Now, even if you're a spring student teacher, these dates are in the fall, but they are required even for spring. So fall and spring student teachers, these are 2 dates that I know for sure you need to write down. Fall student teachers, you'll get some more dates soon. Spring student teachers, you'll get more dates in January. Any questions right now? All right, I'm going to move into the assignments that you're going to do for opening school experience. Now, this looks like a lot. I promise it's not as bad as you think it is. Most of these assignments can be done in very little time. Most of them you're going to be done in no time. There is one of the assignment that does take a little while, and I will explain that in just a minute. So let's talk about the philosophy. Let me say this: all of your assignments for opening school are due August 31st. So you have the rest of July and all of August to work on these. You have to log those for 10 days in SLL, but you have more than 10 days to work on these assignments. You have until August 31st. Like I said, most of these are not going to take you that long, and you can get them submitted rather quickly. Your philosophy of education. And remember, I'll send you all of this electronic so that you'll have it after our meeting today. The philosophy of education, you have probably written a philosophy of education in one of your other classes. We are not going to reinvent the wheel, so we're not writing another one because I doubt your philosophy has changed very much since you wrote one before. If you wrote a philosophy of education before, pull it back out, read over it, and see if it still aligns with your beliefs today. If it does, you might want to, reread it, tweak it a little bit, check for grammar, and make sure it's one page typed, double spaced, 12-point font, and then submit it. If you have never written a philosophy of education, then you are going to have to go ahead and write a one-page, double spaced, 12-point font philosophy of education. But if you have written one, we are giving you an option to use the one that you've already written. Just make sure that some of the things you have said in there still reflect your beliefs, your philosophy now. Your philosophy may be totally different than when you first wrote a philosophy of education. So you may have to change it up a lot, but you may not have to change it much at all. Any questions about the philosophy? Now, you will submit all of these assignments in SLL, so I will pull SLL back up real quick and show you where that goes. So in your in progress tab, you click on that opening school experience and you look through those assignments, and the philosophy of education is here, and it says that it is due 11 p.m. on 8/31 and it's not started. So you'll click on that, submit your philosophy here. You'll just select the file, submit the philosophy. If you click save, it's not going to push it through to me. If you click save, then it'll save it for you and you can go back to it later, but you'll have to click submit for it to submit so that I can see it on my side. Once you submit it, it will pop up here, status. It'll put submitted or awaiting assessment or something like that. I don't know exactly what it'll say, but right now it says not started because I haven't submitted anything there. All right, so next is the host school information sheet. So this, we want you to tell us about the school that you are going to be working at. Very basic questions, very straightforward. If you don't know who your school secretary is, go ask them what their name is. If you don't know your head custodian, go find them and ask them what their name is. Basic things like this. Number 15, You all probably do not need to worry about number 15 because you all are being paid by the school systems. You probably all have a school email address and you all know how to use the library. If you need to go check out a book from the library, if you need to use the computer lab, you all know how to do that. So you don't have to answer number 15 if you're already being paid by a school system and you have school privileges. Now, at the bottom down here of the host school information sheet, there's a website that you will click on. I can pull that up for you so you can see that with me. Give me just a second and I'll pull up that website. So you're going to go to this website and it tells you exactly what to do on the website. So your host school information sheet tells you to click on K-12 public schools and it says near the bottom of the page. So scroll down until you see K-12 public schools. And then it says at the top of the screen, choose your county and school with the drop-down box. So we're going to choose, I'm just going to put in, I'm going to see if I can find Furlough Charter School. I know there's a couple of y'all there. So let's put, I don't know if it's going to show up as Sumter County. We'll see. Let's try. Yes, it does. So Furlough Charter School shows up as Sumter County. If you have a problem finding your school, please let me know. Number 3 says click on indicators and demographics. So after you put in your county and your school, we'll go down to indicators and demographics and click that. There will be a pop-up box. So if you have pop-up disabled, please make sure that you fix that so that you can get the pop-up. Then it says at the top of the screen, click the down arrow under school year. So here for school year, you're going to notice that they have 3 school years marked. You're going to want to uncheck all of them except that last one. So uncheck all of them except 22-23 school year. We want the most recent information. So we're looking at the 22-23 school year, Sumter County Furlough Charter School. And then you're going to click apply. And this shows no data available. Let's see if they have any data for the 21-22 school year. Say no data available, check back later. This could be because this is a charter school, furlough. When y'all get ready to do this, if y'all have the same problem, please let me know.
Miss
I'm going
Ward,
to choose. Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's because we're not under the county. We're through the state. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Yeah, it could be. So I may have to find a different way for you all to be, because you're not, I mean, you are a public school, but you're a public charter school. So when you get ready to do this, if you can't get the information, please let me know and we'll figure out how to get it for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Because I just did click on like Sumter County Elementary and it did bring up the information. So it may be because y'all are a public charter school. So if any of you, when you're doing this, if any of your schools do not show up and you can't get the information, let me know, okay? So then once you get this information pulled up, the questions are going to be like, how many students are enrolled at your school? And you may be able to get this information from your school without clicking on this website. You may be able to just ask your secretaries to find the information for you. Or they may know of a different way you can get that information. So here, Sumter County Elementary has 520 students enrolled in the 21-22 year. 526 students enrolled the 22-23 year. What's the number of students with disabilities at your school? That's here. Students with disabilities is a total of 65. So all the questions at the bottom of that page, you will be able to answer with this website. If you're not, like I said, if you're not able to see your school on there and you can't get the information from your school, let me know and we'll figure out how to get it, okay? So the host school information sheet's not going to take you long, I don't think. Most of you, because you already work at your school, you're going to be able to answer that very easy. You don't have to write this in paragraph form. You can just pull this up and type it in just like it is. And then when you're done, you are going to submit it in SLL under host school information sheet. You'll just select your file and submit it there. All right, so now we're going to move on to letter of introduction. Now this is going to look a little bit different for all of you. Some of you may be, well, a lot of you are elementary teachers. There's a couple of you that are SPED, but I think our SPED people are elementary level as well. So some of you may be into like making cute Canva presentations or Canva PDF or things like that to introduce yourself. However, if you are not into making things all cute and elementary like, that's not a problem. You can do it very basic if you would like to. And I gave you a basic layout of what we need. I gave you some examples of what we need. If you would like to just do a Microsoft Word document and copy and paste this in there, that's perfectly fine. If you want to make it cute and frilly, that's perfectly fine as well. Basically, what we need in a letter of introduction, whether you do it on Microsoft Word or whatever program you want to use, we need you to introduce yourself to your kids and your parents. You probably are going to have to do this anyway for your schools. Your schools probably ask you to send home some kind of introduction letter during open house or when you mail out your information to your students. If you mail out to tell you meet the teacher, you may already do this. But what we need you to include is obviously who you are, and that you're going to be teaching the child or you're going to be a para working with the teacher. Tell the parents that you are completing your teaching certification, or you're completing your senior year, you're majoring in whatever subject, and then just give a little blurb of, I decided to become a teacher because, and just tell them that you want it to be a positive learning experience for everyone. So you can use these examples or you can make it your own. But then we will need you to submit it in SLL, whether you use these or whether you use something different. Now, obviously, because you all work at the schools, you probably you probably will have to send something home anyway. I usually tell my traditional student teachers to ask their mentor teachers if they can send this home as well. But because you work there, I don't think it'll be a problem. They'll probably let you send home the introduction letter or introduction poster or introduction, whatever you want to call it, to your families or give it to them at open house. But it's not a requirement. So for GSW. So if you just have to write this letter and just submit it in SLL just to get credit for it, that's fine too. I'm not going to go call your kids' parents and say, hey, did you see an introduction letter? This is just for us to be able to prove that you know how to write one. So send it home fine, don't send it home fine, but it has to be written or made and put in SLL. When I send you all these electronic copies, like I said, you'll have these and you can literally just copy and paste if you want to. So in SLL, it's titled Letter of Introduction. You'll click there and select your file, submit it there. It should let you, it says any file type is allowed. So if you make a PDF or a PowerPoint slide or a Google slide or a Microsoft Word document, any of those should upload to SLL. All right, next we have the online platform reflection. So we need you to talk about the kind of online platform that your school uses. A lot of schools around here use Google Classroom, but I know there are schools doing some other things. I've heard of like some Microsoft Teams. I've heard of the Schoology. There was another one I heard the other day and I forgot what they said. Anyway, whatever online platform you all use to push out information to your families, I need you to reflect on that. I need you to answer these questions. You can go in and answer them, question and answer form. Just go in and copy and paste and answer them on this in this format, or you can type it in paragraph form. That's up to you. But we need to know what platform y'all use. Finding some information from your school or your personal research, describe the platform and describe its benefits. And then, some of the other questions, what should a new teacher understand about using an online platform? Not necessarily yours specifically, but any online platform. What should a new teacher understand about it? Share some tips in utilizing your online platform. How do you or your mentor teacher, your lead teacher, how do y'all use that to support student learning? Because obviously you all are in class. It's not COVID anymore. Used to during COVID, online classrooms were a whole lot different than they are now. So I know schools still use online platforms or use online classrooms to push out information, but they're not using them like they used to during COVID. Also, the last question, you all probably don't have to answer this because you're not a traditional student teacher. You all work there. And if you have a school email address, it's more than likely that they're going to be able to add you to your school's classrooms. So you don't have to worry about answering the last question if you already have a school email address and know that you can be added to an online classroom. Like I said, you can type this in paragraph form or you can just do question and answer form. It's up to you. Answer these questions and submit that in SLL, and it is under online platform reflection. You'll notice all of these have the same due date, August 31st, except for those forms, and I'll talk about those in a minute. All right, I'm going to move on to the Google Classroom creation. So we do need you to create a Google Classroom for your opening school experience and student teaching semester. You will be putting some stuff in this Google Classroom while you're student teaching. Some of your student teaching assignments will go into the Google Classroom. So if you already have a Google Classroom at your school, you're going to need to make a different one specifically for GSW. So just make a GSW Google Classroom. You cannot use your Radar email address because the Radar and Google do not jive. So you're going to need to make your Google Classroom with your personal email address. If you don't have a Gmail, then you can set up a Gmail very easily and create a Google Classroom through a Gmail account. Some other emails may be supported by Google, and you could use your email that you already have. If it's not Gmail, you may be able to use it. But I know that you're not going to be able to use your Radar, and you're not going to want to use your school email address either that you have for your school system. So use a personal email. There's a link there to click on, and it will walk you through how to create a Google Classroom. Right now, during opening school experience, during this month, while you're doing all of these things, we're not worried about you submitting a whole bunch of stuff in there right now. All we need is for you to create the classroom and title it something. I don't have this on here, but title it something like, I don't know, Miss Johnston's student teaching, or you don't title it opening school experience without your name, because you're going to add me as a student. And so I'm going to have all these Google Classrooms to look through. And if it just says opening school experience, I'm not going to know who it is until I click on it, and then I can find out who the teacher is. So just title it something with your name and then classroom, like Miss Jenkins kindergarten class or Miss Jenkins kindergarten student teaching. We don't really care what you title it. We're not doing anything specific, but just don't Be very vague. Be a little bit more specific with your name and something to do with student teaching or GSW. Once you have created the classroom, go into, like, you're going to add a student, and it will ask you to put the email address in, and I need you to put mine in, amber.ward@gsw.edu. So you're going to add me as a student. Whenever I accept your request to be in your Google Classroom, it's not going to show up as Amber Ward in your classroom. I think it's going to show up as like Field and Clinical Office or Field and Clinical Experiences or something like that. So if you see that show up and not my name, you'll still know that you're fine, that I have accepted it. If for some reason you notice that I'm not showing up as a student, then I may not have received the email to be added. You may want to double check with me to see if I received your email. Typically, right now is going to be crazy in my email because I have all of you, plus all of our traditional student teachers have to do this. So all of you, like 100 students, are going to be adding me to their Google Classroom. So my email blows up with Google Classrooms. I may just wait a few days and add 10 at one time, or I may go through daily and add some daily. So if you add me on one day and I haven't accepted it 4 days later, don't stress yet. Give me time because I just have a lot of them in my email. But if you've added me and I haven't accepted you within 2 to 3 weeks, then you probably want to touch base with me and see if maybe I didn't get your email from Google. Once you start your student teaching semester and you get your university supervisor, you'll need to add them to your classroom as well. Your university supervisor is going to be the one that will be grading you for student teaching. So you will know who that is soon if you're a fall student teacher. If you're a spring student teacher, you'll know who your supervisor will be in January. So you will add them once you know who they are so that they can access your classroom and they'll be able to go in and see the assignments that you post in there. So what we need you to do, create the classroom, add me right now, and then you're going to create one post in there. All you need is one post. You're going to introduce yourself. So you're going to pretend like you're introducing yourself to your kids. So not to me. Don't act like you're introducing yourself to me. Act like you're introducing yourself to your kids, because the whole point of this is to show that you can create an online classroom and use an online classroom if the world were to shut down again like it did in 2020. We have to be able to prove to the PSC that our student teachers know how to create and use an online classroom. So create your classroom, post a video, and you're going to introduce yourself pretending like you're talking to your students. So if you have pre-K kids, you might want to tell them what your favorite color is, or you might want to tell them if you have 2 dogs and 1 cat. So you're going to want to talk about things that reflect their age, things that they can understand. When I say introduce yourself, I mean like tell them a few things about you, but in a way that they can understand it depending on what their ages are. Some of you are working with younger kids and some are working with a little bit older kids. So just, cater your introduction video to the age of your kids. Between 2 and 5 minutes. And it doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be in your classroom. It can be at home. If you want to do it in your classroom and you want to just, show off some things, that's fine. But we're leaving it up to you how you want to make that and where you want to make that introduction video. Once you have the introduction video done, once you've added me and you've got it created, I'm going to need you to go to SLL and it's called the Google Classroom link and screenshot. So I'm going to need you in the text area, you're going to put the link. So copy and paste the link to your Google Classroom here. And then take a screenshot of your classroom, your Google Classroom, and put the screenshot in the file upload box. Any questions so far about any of those assignments that I have talked about? I feel like all of those assignments are pretty straightforward. They're not going to take you that long to do, as long as you'll sit down and start working on them and knock them out. I think you'll be fine. All right, so the next assignment that I'm going to talk, actually, I'm going to skip the next one. I'm going to go to the professional learning development log. I'm going to send you all one of these. This does not have to be submitted in SLL right now. This will actually be submitted at the end of student teaching. So when you do your final student teaching portfolio, this is going to be part of it. But I go ahead and give it to you during opening school experience because I want you to be able to log your times that you do professional development for pre-planning and all throughout the school year. So any kind of professional development that you have, anything from faculty meetings to grade level meetings to countywide professional development, any kind of reading professional development, math professional development, any of those things, we want you to log those on this professional learning log. So put the date, the time that you did the professional development, tell me what you did, and then just a brief description of the professional development. So if you have grade level meetings once a week, it's fine to put those in once a week. The more the better. Obviously, the more you show that you've done professional learning or professional development, the better your student teaching portfolio is going to look at the end of your student teaching semester. So I will go ahead and send you this now, but you don't have to worry about putting it in SLL right now. You can print it and write in it if you want to. If you want to just keep it on your hang it up on your wall at school and you want to just write on it every time you have a faculty meeting or whatever, that's fine. Or you can keep electronic copy and type it in. It's up to you. Whatever works best for you, just keep it where you can get to it and keep it, keep the running document. Because when you get to the end of student teaching and you're working on your portfolio at the end, you're not going to want to have to go back and look at the dates of every faculty meeting during the school year. You're going to hopefully have kept up with it all semester, all year, and you will just be able to submit this at the very end. So we have the co-teaching workshop next. Y'all give me 1 second. I got someone at my door. I'm sorry, y'all. That was Dr. Abbott. She was leaving for the day. All right. So the co-teaching workshop is a little workshop in SLL. Our traditional student teachers had to do this in person, but because you all are online students, we're giving you the option. We're giving you the workshop to do in SLL. So co-teaching, I know our SPED teachers know a lot about co-teaching, obviously. Some of you have been paras in SPED classrooms, so you're probably very familiar with co-teaching. But we do ask our student teachers to go through a co-teaching workshop because you will be co-teaching at some point in your career. Some of you will actually be co-teaching some this year. If you're working with a lead teacher and you're a para, you're going to be co-teaching throughout the year. If you are a teacher of record and have your own classroom, you may have people come in, push in. You may have an ESOL teacher push in and you may have to co-teach with them. You may have a SPED teacher push in. If you don't this year, I guarantee you within the next 5 to 10 years, there will be a time when you will come across co-teaching and you will be teaching with another teacher in your classroom at some point, if you haven't already. So we do have to have you go through this co-teaching workshop during your student teaching. It's in SLL, so it's this on the same page as all of these assignments. You'll click on co-teaching workshop. And you're going to go through all the modules. So you can either scroll down and you'll read through all these modules. There's some questions to true false questions, models that you think you've seen. You're just going to answer these questions as you go through. If you keep scrolling down, you'll notice that it goes from module to module. If you don't keep scrolling down, obviously, and you just start at the top, you can click on each module. So introduction and then learning objectives, and it will take you straight to it. So you can click on it from the top, or you can just scroll down. So you're going to read through all of this information. There's some videos here. Watch some videos. You'll notice that there are some attachments here. You'll download those attachments. Go read through those. Watch some videos. YouTube videos are embedded. And then you will come to the following that says, reflect on the following question. So think about your student teaching classroom experience. So obviously right now is while we're your senior year, whether you're a fall student teacher or spring student teacher, think about what you're going to be doing this year and how you're going to be working with other teachers, and if there's opportunities for you to be able to co-teach this year. If you're a teacher of record in your own classroom, then it may be that you have to think about ways you could use it in the future if you're not going to be using it this year specifically. Click on this reflection worksheet to download. Once you download it, you'll notice that there are question and boxes to fill out, and this is what you're going to be filling out to submit. So you're going to answer all these questions, fill out this document, save it again because you're obviously going to download it. So you're going to have to save it again to your computer. And then once you scroll, you watch a little bit more, read a little bit more, go to the very bottom. And there should be a place for you to submit that worksheet at the very bottom. This is just a handout. This is nothing that you're going to submit, but you'll just download this. And it says download the handout. You keep this to consider. Keep scrolling. Download. This is another handout. Keep it on hand. Some more handouts. It's pretty long. It is a pretty long module. But anyway, once you get to the very end, it's at the very bottom, upload that reflection worksheet. So you're just going to click select file and upload that worksheet that you've worked through, the one that you downloaded. Now, this is what's going to take you a little bit of time. So all those other things that I had you do should not take you that long. But please don't start working on this on August 30th. It's due August 31st. Please take a little bit of time each day to read through some of it. You don't have to sit down and read through all of it at the same day and fill out the worksheet in the same day. You can break it up, but you have a month and a half to complete this. Go through at your own pace and complete this workshop. Any questions about this co-teaching workshop on SLL? All right, perfect. Okay, so real quick, we've got just about 8 more minutes before 5:30. I know I told y'all 5:30 we'd be done, so I want to tell you about the forms that I've been talking about. Oh, I'm sorry, Lexi, you had your hand up.
So is that also due August 31st? Is that one of the assignments in SSL or SLO?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
If we get to that and got questions, can we email you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
If you get to that and you have any questions, it's really laid out. I mean, our special ed advisor made that, and she put a lot of information there, and it's really laid out, easy to understand, and watching the videos, or it flows really well. But if you do have any questions while you're doing that, please let me know. I just want to stress, don't wait until the last minute to start it, because it is going to take you a little bit of time to do that and read through all of that and do all that. That's going to be the most tedious part of the opening school experience assignments. The other ones, you'll be fine and can do them in no time. That one is going to take you a little bit of time.
Okay.
All right, so the forms. So we have two different kinds of forms. We have a paraprofessional form. So all of you that are going to be serving as paras and you don't have your own classroom, you're not teacher of record, you're going to be serving as paras. I'm going to be emailing you this one paraprofessional. It's called Paraprofessional Senior Year Principal and Mentor Agreement. So you're going to put your name, your school name, grade level, and all that at the top. And then you're going to meet with your principal, and the principal is going to sign. And then you're going to have the principal give you a mentor. You're going to meet with that mentor, whether it be your lead teacher that you're working with or a different mentor in your building. You're going to meet with your mentor and they're going to sign. Remember, I'm going to give you a copy, and I'm probably not going to send them today. I'll send all these papers and forms to you all tomorrow. I will give you a copy of the mentor teacher qualifications, so that when you meet with your principal first, you can give them that copy and say, this is what GSW needs for the mentor teacher. Who can be my mentor teacher? Is it going to be my lead teacher, or is it going to be somebody else in the building? One thing that I will say that sometimes gets a little tricky. Whoever your mentor is, we have to put them in the system for the PSC. So they have to have the same type degree that you're trying to get. So we cannot, since you're trying to get, most of you are trying to get an elementary degree, we can't put in a middle grades teacher as a mentor for your elementary degree. We can't put a special ed mentor in for your elementary degree. Does that make sense? Like, the person that's your mentor, this is the trickiest part of the mentor thing. The person that's your mentor has to have the degree or the certificate that you're trying to get. So they need an elementary teaching certificate. If there's an issue with any of you, and I know one of you, I talked to you yesterday about the middle school stuff, there could be an issue there. So we might have to figure that out. Don't stress. We'll figure something out. But if that's an issue, come to me and let me know. Email me or call me and let me know. And if you don't know, you can always ask the mentor, do you have an elementary degree? For my two special ed people that are on, I think there's two of y'all, special ed, cert only people that are in here. Your mentors need to have a special ed certification. So they can't give you a mentor that's a middle grades mentor or an elementary mentor. They need to have a special ed certification. If they don't, then let me know and we can work through it. We'll figure something out. In the past, we've had 2 or 3 students that had this issue, and we had to work something out with them, and we had to figure out a way to get them in the system. But I just want you to know that if I come back and I say, hey, that we can't put that mentor in the system, we got to figure something out, y'all don't freak out on me. It's just because of the whole rules of the PSC, and everything has to be just right. So I will give when I send you this form, I will give you a paper that has the mentor teacher qualifications so that you can give it to your principal. This is one form for the paras. If you are a teacher of record / intern, here for GSW sake, we call you intern, or paid student teaching intern, or paid student teaching internship, because you're getting paid as a teacher of record while you're doing your student teaching courses. So you have 2 forms to complete. You're going to have a commitment form that you complete by yourself, basically saying, even though I'm being paid as a teacher of record, I'm still committing to do all of my things for GSW. I'm going to, do everything, even though I've got my own classroom and I'm taking on this role of having my own classroom. I'm still going to do everything I have to do to graduate and be certified. So you will fill out that form yourself. And then there's another form that you will fill out with your principal and your mentor. So if you're a paid intern, if you are a teacher of record, then you will have 2 forms. I'll send you these 2. I'll also send you the mentor teacher qualification list that you can talk to your principal about, because they'll give you a mentor teacher as well. Everyone has to have a mentor teacher because they have to be the one to go in to do your evaluations for your student teaching semester, for your opening school experience course and your student teaching semester, your 3 student teaching courses. I will send you all these forms. I will send you all of the assignments that I talked about today, all of these things. I'll send you the digital copy of all of these things. I will send you a copy of this PowerPoint, and I will send you the recording to this meeting today so that you can go back and listen if you missed anything. All right, do we have any questions? If not, if you don't want to ask now, you can always email me later. I'm going to be leaving the office here shortly after we get off, but I will be back in the office tomorrow. So I'm going to send you all this stuff tomorrow. And I'll be happy to answer any questions by phone or email if you don't want to ask now. I hope I didn't confuse you today. I hope that everything that I've went through was pretty easy to follow, easy to understand. I know y'all are getting excited about this being your last year. Some of you, this is your last semester. Some of you, you've got, one more semester and then your student teaching semester. So I know you're getting excited. You're at the end of the line here. We're excited for you all. And we're here for you. I know sometimes when you're an online student, it may feel like you're a little bit removed from everything going on at GSW, but we want you to know that we're here for you. If you try to reach out to somebody else and they can't help you, then reach out to me. I may not teach classes upstairs with them. I may not teach classes online, but I'm in the office and I am here. I can go find them if you need them. I'm here to help if you need anything. I usually just facilitate. I don't usually teach or give grades during student teaching, but a lot of times people will reach out during student teaching if they can't get in touch with their supervisors, or if they have any general questions, they reach out to me. That's perfectly fine. So that's my job. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you all. If you have any questions, or if you can't get in touch with someone else and you need help getting in touch with someone, please feel free to reach out. I'll send you all of these things tomorrow, and after I send them to you and after you've had a chance to sit down and look through them yourself, let me know if there's anything I can do to help. If not, you can stay on if you'd like to ask any questions. If not, you're free to go. Y'all enjoy the rest of the afternoon. It just rained here where I am. I don't know if it's been raining where you are, but I'm going to try to get out of here while it's not raining. So y'all have a good rest of the afternoon, and y'all please have an awesome beginning of the school year when you start pre-planning.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all have a good afternoon.